The PL Show is brought to you by Roma Insecticide Spray and Mosquito Coil.
Welcome to the PL Show, where we talk about women, their success stories, their difficulties they go through, and how they wade through all of that. Thank you very much for making time to watch us in this episode. I can't wait for you to meet two phenomenal ladies doing wonderful things to help themselves, and the rest of us will meet them in a moment. Our show is brought to you by Roma Mosquito Spray and Coil in Tuntum Master. Fecal Spray Starch, look sharp. You're watching the PL Show. My name is Keminni Amanor, and I'll be right back.
Should you Roma to me?
And Tuntum Master, a baby Jumanamo. She's so madahati. Roma Insecticide Spray at Roma. Entafre, Entatia, make a cheha. No way! Yamikuno and Tuntum Bako Crown Fanamo. And also a pussy. Roma Insecticide Spray and Mosquito Coil. Emma, what dare we show? Roma and Coil!
Roma and Tuntum Master.
Wow! My uniform looks different.
Fecal Spray Starch, Majimo Point. Actually, pause. When you want to remember the morning, I feel your spray starch, Papa. On particles be our water, no wrinkles, smooth iron.
Yes, Papa. Fecal Spray Starch. Me here perfume.
Also, yes, guy. Fecal Spray Starch.
Look sharp.
Look sharp. Look sharp.
Our guest today teaches us a very important lesson, that it is not over until it is over. That inside each of us is an inherent strength to do anything and everything we put our minds to. She went to school for 4 years to join the Inky fraternity, but the universe had its own design for her, and young Imelda AJ had to find out the hard way. It took her losing her job to put into practice a talent that God bequeathed to her, and today she is fast rising and making money off her talent. Imelda is an alumnus of Young African Leadership Initiative, an entrepreneur, and research assistant to one of Ghana's MPs. Meet Imelda AJ, an interior decor designer, bringing life into recyclable products by turning them into beautiful decorative pieces.
So let's dig right into our guest, Imelda AJ. She's CEO of Think Emmy's Interior Decor. Thank you very much, Imelda, for joining us here.
Thank you for having
I am
me.
happy to see you again. And you did the centerpiece, something I've been telling our viewers for a long time now.
Yes, I did.
What did you use in making this piece?
I used an old car tire, the jute rope, the velvet fabric, and then of course the glass.
Very interesting materials, particularly the old car tire. What would you say is the nature of what you do?
We are focused on recycling. You know, in recent times, we all know how plastic waste management and solid waste management has been an issue in the country. And so I just thought of it one day, and then I said, well, why don't you come up with something that can help solve the problem? Most often than not, we are all interested in getting people employ us and all that, but I felt that this could, in one way or the other, help solve the problem in the country. And so I gave it a try, and then the first one was mine, like it was a project I did, a centerpiece with the old tire. And then I had it in my room, and so I had a visitor one day, and then the person was like, oh, this is very nice. Could you do one for me? And so I was like, okay. But then I still didn't see the sense of getting a lot of people being interested in it. But I did it for the person anyways. And then someone also saw it, and that was how it started.
So why did that idea, I mean, I get a bit about you want to recycle materials. But where do you think that idea dropped from, that I could use car tires for amazing things? Was it something you researched when you decided to use recycled materials, or how did that idea drop?
I wouldn't say it was a research. It's just something that popped up one day, and then I decided that, well, let's try something and see. It was after I did it that I noticed people had already done stuff like that, which I didn't really know
that
of.
Dawned on you.
Yes, which I didn't really know of. But one thing about it is, even though people have already done it before, people are still doing it. Mine is, we are all looking at solving a problem. It's not about competition. It's one of the words I take out of my dictionary. It's not about competition. It's about solving the problem. Someone can be doing it, yes, but at the end of the day, the person can't solve the problem alone. And so I'm also doing what I can with the inspiration I get from within.
How hard is it using these recycled materials, particularly the car tire? There's like two.
Yes,
two of them.
Two.
How hard is it using that as your raw material?
I wouldn't say it's hard for me because I don't buy them. I usually go to the second-hand dealers and then I just speak to them and then they give them to me. And so once you get it, you can use it. And because I had told them about it and then showed them what I did,
they keep it for you?
Yes. At a point, I had to go and then give them a centerpiece as a gift. And so they always keep it for me. So when I come, I just pick what I want and then that's it.
I know how old car tires look like. They can be very old, very rugged, you know, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
How do you make them into this beautiful stuff? How do you work on them?
So one of the things I would also want to say is that in as much as we are using old car tires, we don't just take like the very, very old
and worn out tires.
Yes, like
Why?
Soft. Because that doesn't help with the product.
Right.
At the end of the day, it won't last.
Okay.
And so yes, these are old car tires, but then ones that are a bit stronger so that it lasts. You wouldn't want to do a project for somebody and then like in few weeks time they call you and they're like, oh, my stuff is spoiled and all that. So yes, we use the very strong ones even though they are old. And then what we do is wash them, because obviously they've been on the road for a long time and so you need to make them clean. And so we wash them, let them dry, and then we start the process.
I see, but this is not the only thing you do with Think Emmy's Interior Decor.
No.
What else do you do?
We also rebrand old couches.
Okay.
Not until I did my 4th project, I didn't know that was a huge problem for a lot of people. And so we posted it on social media, Facebook to be precise, and the response was, I was thrilled by the response. And at a point I was scared because I felt that if all these people who are asking questions or telling you, I want you to do some for me, or I have an old couch, I want you to rebrand, if they are all going to come, how are we going to do this? Because this is just something I had started. I really don't have like a lot of people in the team. How are we going to satisfy all these people?
How many people do you work with now?
We are 4.
You're 4 now?
Yes.
So how did you deal with the high demand, particularly for, you know, recycling our couches?
We took it a day at a time. So usually what we do is when you contact us, we ask you to send us pictures of the furniture you're talking about. And then we ask you if there are other things you would want us to know. For instance, if the cushions are soft, if there are some parts that are torn, we need to know all those things. If it's like the olden type of furniture which has the wood, you need to tell us if you want it to be sprayed or polished again. And so we consider all those things. Once we get that, we book an appointment with you. You make part payments or you make full payments depending on who you, there are some people who still don't understand. They're like, this is supposed to be for men. Like, why is she the one doing it? You know, so sometimes it's difficult for them to...
So how do you respond to those people who give you attitude because you're a woman, or who give you who think you can't do it just because you're a woman and you should be somewhere else?
One of the things I tell them is, well, I didn't come to you to tell you this is what I do. You saw it on social media, and that is how come you contacted me. So once you have seen it, that is exactly what you're going to be getting. And we shouldn't really think about the fact that this is like men-dominated area. This is supposed to be for a woman. We should stop all this gender thing. I mean, once the person can do it, you should let the person do it.
Do you take that gender bit into consideration when you have to employ people? You have 4 people now.
Yes, I do.
So how does that reflect on your staff?
We are all females.
You're all females.
Yes. My reason is intentional. My reason is we have all known from the past that men have been given, I mean, most opportunities than women, and just like they would say this is a man-dominated occupation, I want to do away with that cliche, for want of a better word. And so I try to empower young women to also do this.
Did you ever consider yourself starting your own business and a business of the sort? Did you consider yourself an entrepreneur?
Never in my life.
Right. So what was that entrepreneurial journey like? Because this is an environment, first of all, you were thrown into after your redundancy, where you were working for people and writing, telling stories like this one.
Yeah.
And now you are the story itself. You would have to manage some people.
Yeah.
What was that, or what is that journey like for you? Because you're still in it.
Okay. So the very project that made me actually start this business is the rebranding of the old couch. And so I found myself in an environment, and then I noticed the couch there was very bad. And so the first question I asked the person was, what are you doing with this couch? Because I was a bit taken aback when I saw it. Looking at where I was, the location, I was surprised to have seen a furniture like that. And so when I asked the person, he was like, oh, they just want to throw it away or change it or something. And I was like, okay, I think I have something in mind we could do about this. And honestly, I didn't know what I was talking about, but I just felt like this could be changed. I mean, and so he asked me what it was, and I said, you could probably rebrand it with a fabric like an African print or a velvet. But you know, looking at the president's interest in African print, maybe we could do African print.
Right.
And so that was how I pitched.
So in terms of managing the business, right? What's the experience been for you? Because you were just thrown into this.
It hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy. A lot of ups and downs. There are times you feel like, did we make the right decision by starting this project, or did we not? You know, there are times you get clients call in and then they want you to do a project for them, and you need to get stuff from the market, but here you are occupied with something else. And you can't get any of your team members to go to the markets because they are also full-time employees elsewhere.
I see.
And so it's been tough sometimes. You have to like shuffle between 2 things to be able to satisfy a client. It hasn't been easy.
Does it tell on your business, perhaps delivery time and all that?
No, it doesn't.
No,
One thing I do is I always make my clients know that we only work over the weekends. But if you want us to work on your furniture or whatever service it is that you want, by Wednesday you should confirm.
Okay.
Because obviously we need to get the stuff and all that. And so we come to your place on Saturday morning. That's if it's a rebranding of a furniture. We come to your place on Saturday morning. Until we are done, we don't leave.
You're watching the PL show. Our guest is CEO of Think Emmy's Interior Decor. The show is brought to you by Roma Insecticide Spray and Coil in Tuntum Master. It's also brought to you by Feco Spray Starch. Look sharp. I'll be right back.
Should you Roma to me?
And Tuntum Master. Roma Insecticide Spray ada Roma. Interfere, Entatia, Mekachenha. No way! Yumikuno, and Tuntum Bako Crown Fanimo, and also a pussy. Roma insecticide spray and mosquito coil. Emma, who dare we sham? Roma and
Roma and Tonton Master.
Yena. Maketiano, why are you?
Oh!
Tum preku.
Saso.
Mwa.
Saso.
Abano, oh, you saso. Yena, saso.
Yes, saso. Madam, saso. What?
Saso.
Emo beyond that down. Saso. Kum tum. Ni mwa. Saso. Tum preku.
Welcome back. Thank you very much for staying with us here on the PL show. This is the Discovery edition where we put the spotlight on companies like Think Emmy's Interior Decor. All startups that deserve to be here will be here. We'll hear their stories, stories of challenges that they have had to brace in this bid to start up a business. The show is brought to you by Roma Mosquito Spray and Coil, in Tonton Master, Feco Spray Starch, Look Sharp. Do you have difficulties with spray starches on the market? I have good news for you. Iron your clothes with the best Feco Spray Starch, Look Sharp. Well, now let's get back into our conversation with Think Emmy's Interior Decor CEO, Imelda AJ. She's here with me. And Imelda, for our viewers, we used to work in the same environment. And well, it's good to know that you have done something fantastic like this. I'm very positive it hasn't been an easy journey for you. One of those things I think may have occurred during this process is your money matters. How did that work out for you?
So when I left GH1, there was some amount of money that was given to me. And so, yes, I had to live on that. And with respect to the project, you know, unlike other businesses, for mine, if you want something to be, if you want a service or a product, you have to make part payment or full payment, and then we can do it for you. And so it's basically like giving us the money to do it for you. So we don't really invest a lot into it. It doesn't really demand a lot of money from my side, but from the clients, because it depends on you.
Right. And you work from the client's home?
Yes. So like for the couches, you know, it's quite costly if you have to move a furniture from one location to the other. And so to take our clients, I mean, off that radar, we decide to come to the client's home or wherever it is. If it's your office, we'll come there and then we'll fix it for you. And it takes a lot of hours. Like it could take like Saturday, if we go on Saturday, there are times that we've gone on Saturdays, like Saturday morning, and then we finish on Sunday morning. Right.
But that is not your only source of income.
No.
While you run this business, you are also in an active 9-to-5. How do you juggle your 9-to-5 and this one?
So that's where the weekend bit comes in. And so aside the fact that when we need to buy materials or stuff for the project, that I have to probably rush out of the office to get, but then aside that, everything is done over the weekend. And so it doesn't really cause chaos, for want of a better word. Weekdays are for my research assistant job, and then weekends solely for my project.
On the family level, what was the nature of the response from your close friends and family?
It was amazing. Like, just like myself, they were all surprised. Like, Imelda, you could do this. So why haven't you done it all this while? I don't know. I just did something, and then this is where we are now. Right. So the response has been very good, like very positive ones. And one of the happy moments is when you serve a client or you give a client a product, and then the response is very positive. It makes you feel very fulfilled. Like,
right. You come across as a very courageous woman. You had no idea about this business. You gave it a try, and it worked for you. And you're looking forward to building this brand. How far do you want to reach?
I'm looking at doing this for a long term, past 10 years, because there are other projects that I want to build out of this, and so it's really going to probably be a lifelong thing.
Right.
Maybe it would move. I would move away from the production bit at a point, but it would stick with me for a long time.
When you move away from the production bits, where would you move on to?
So my plan is to train other young people.
Right.
And so one of the things I work with is I don't want this project solely being mine. I want it to be that everyone in the team is aligned with me, and so everyone gets to do everything that I can do, so that once I am not around, someone can at least spearhead it.
Right.
Because I see myself moving around a lot of times, and I wouldn't want a situation whereby I have to move and then
the business moves.
It has to halt.
You call it the project.
Yes.
We understand why you call it a project.
So yes, that's
right.
it. And I see the places that this project has taken me to, even in this short while, and
you're happy
I am
about
grateful
it.
for it.
We are also grateful you came today. Thank you very much, Imelda.
Thank you.
Imelda Ajay is CEO for Think Emmy's Interior Decor. We have been talking to her as part of our Discovery edition of the PL Show. Need to get food stuff from the market and you can't do that? No problem. Our next guest has the solution to your problem. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Should you rumor to me?
Tonton master, ebe ye jumanamo. Kwese o madahati. Roma insecticide spray ada Roma. Entafre, entatia, mekeche ha. No way. Shemikuno. Tonton bako kra fanemo. Eno so a empusi. Roma insecticide spray and mosquito coil. Emma wo dem we sham. Roma, enkwe.
Roma and Tonton Master.
Wow! My uniform looks different.
Feco spray starch. Majimo point. Rachi, pause. When you want to remember Namunto the morning, I feel you spray starch, Papa. On particles be our water, no wrinkles, smooth iron.
Yeshon Papa. Feco spray starch. Me here perfume.
Also, yes, guy.
Feco spray starch.
Look sharp.
Look sharp. Look sharp.
Yena. Maketiano, why are you?
Oh!
Tum preku.
Saso.
Mwa.
Saso.
Amanor, oh you saso. Yena saso.
Yes, any saso. Madam, any saso. What?
Saso.
Emo bianda dao. Saso. Ekum tum. Ni mwa saso. Tum preku.
Elsland Owuzi Samson holds a bachelor's degree in communication design from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. But that is not why she's here. She's here because she dared to combine a formal job at GH1 TV as a graphic designer and an informal one as Ajua Agbogloshi, delivering groceries to homes. Let's meet our guest for today.
So yes, we are continuing with our Discovery of the Month edition of the PL Show. My next guest is Elsie Ewuzi Samson. You have seen the wonderful work she's doing, but there's absolutely more to this young lady here. You were the 2019 Mandela Washington Fellow. You're one of the people who went on that fellowship. Adventure. Let me put it that way because I saw the pictures. Welcome back, by the way.
Thank you.
How was it?
It was awesome. I don't know how to describe it, but you just have to experience it to describe it.
Yeah, we should experience it, shouldn't we? So what was that trip about? What did you learn? How was it changing your perception about things around you?
So ever since I returned, there's been about 3 things that I've spoken about. The volunteerism in the United States. You get young people as young as 5 years, 6 years volunteering, and as old as 80, 90, as long as they can walk, they are volunteering. And also the fact that they want to nurture from the beginning. So agriculture, I was in the business track, and I was mainly into agriculture because of my background, my business. And you could see that students in basic schools are actually encouraged to go full-time to participate in agriculture. They you know, when we talk about agriculture, it's farming. Yes, we don't see agriculture as the big deal, but over there they're encouraged, like fairs, groups. They have 4-H, FFA, all encouraging.
So what was the third thing that you brought back?
And the third thing is you don't have to give up. Like, I know that they have the resources and everything, the environment helps and supports, but there's no reason to give up.
Right. So let's talk about you. You are a graphic designer by profession.
Yes.
You studied communications design in school.
Yes.
What has that got to do with going to the market?
So there are two things that influenced this business. One, my mom. My mom used to sell groceries, and so I had that background. And two, my passion for art. And so since childhood, I've been the graphics or the design girl. This is what I wanted to do, to be a graphic designer. But then I also love to see food packaged well. So it was through my personal research to find out like how we can package our local food stuff. And then I came across the word grocery delivery. So when I came across it, it was like, oh, so my mom used to sell groceries, and grocery delivery is actually a huge industry. And I also, when I was in school, I didn't like going to the markets. It was a big deal. You know, I had practical works and everything. So I actually put myself in the situation that if someone would shop for me, it would help me take that stress off me. And then, you know, businesses, you need to find that problem, the opportunity, and then you solve it. It means I'm not alone. I continued with research, found out if people really wanted services like this. Yes.
Right. And what did you find in that research?
So I found out that yes, people would like if people help them with shopping like a business. But then there's this perception, it will be expensive, I'll be cheated, you know, I wouldn't get it the way I want.
If you go yourself?
If yes. So there were lots of negatives, you know. But then there's always, if there's a lot of negatives, you also get positives. So how do you capitalize on the positive? The main thing is people want help in that area. And especially when I came to Accra, the traffic situation, the work, you know, even where our markets, the main markets are situated, they're a bit far from residential areas. So it's challenging. So you need to capitalize on that. And then I decided this is a foreign industry, like grocery delivery. We want to go and select the inputs ourselves.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, we're used to that.
Yes. So how do you give it the Ghanaian feel? You know, how do you let the regular Ghanaian relate with this business?
What was it that you did so that your customers and the potential ones could connect with the idea?
So we came up with the Abublushi concept. Okay. That's when we started with quality groceries at Abublushi prices. We believe that it should be affordable. It's food. Everyone should be able to access it. So how do we communicate with these customers or target groups that we want to deliver to you your groceries nicely packaged, cleaned, and delivered to you like in the mall, but it's going to be at affordable price.
Right.
So, and we all know Abublushi, and we know that things are affordable. So we went with that concept, that quality groceries at Abublushi prices, which kind of explains everything in summary.
I guess that's where you got the name Ajo Abublushi from.
Yes.
Which you proudly carry.
Yes, I like it.
Right, but your competition will be far and wide because culturally people think that they want to go to the market themselves, pick what they would call wholesome and bring them to their homes, but you're promising something else. So how do you plan on overcoming this wide array of competition you get from individuals who want to do this themselves?
So like I said, the first one is the perception, which you just said.
So how are you changing that?
Now we're marketing. So marketing helps. Our social media, one-on-one, meeting people, approaching people, going to offices, going like wherever we think our targets are. We go there to tell them, you know what, this is what we are doing. This is our price list. Go through it. And then when they actually go through it, they realize that, oh, so why would I even go to the market if I'm getting it at this price? We work with these market women, we work with farmers, startup food processors, and so we make sure that we get the products as low as possible so that you are getting your abubloshi prices actually, you know. It's not easy clearing that perception. It is something we've been doing, going to the market to shop ourselves.
So do you think this business that you have started, how sustainable do you think it is? Because then you're forced to sell like you find on the market so that people would join your fold.
So, you know, convenience is the new thing now.
Right.
Yes. Accra won't undergrow. It will keep growing. Ghana won't undergrow. It will keep growing. We have gotten to the point where we are so busy with work, with chores, and so we need to outsource other things. Just like grocery delivery or grocery shopping, online grocery shopping, it's part of what we need to do. We eat, so you need to get good food. You need it has to be presented well. We are concerned about our health and all that. If you actually know where your food is coming from, and not just like how the market, you go to the market, you get your groceries, you're not coming to work on it, clean them, store them in the refrigerator and everything. It's already done. If it's blended, that you need blended tomatoes, it's done. If you need chopped greens or salads, they're already done. So it's convenience. And then this is where we are moving to. So we are not actually going to move back. As the nation grows, or as the world grows, it grows with us.
Right. Essentially, you have a business that will compete with people who can, you can go online and then pick whatever you want to buy. How are you fending off that competition? What is the advantage you think you have over those businesses?
So, like I always say, you need to stand out. You need to be different. When you get to the market, there are lots of women selling tomatoes, but we have people we get our groceries from, and they provide us with the best. Provide your clients with the best, and they will tell others about it. Always step ahead with solutions. If your clients are just selling tomatoes, give them the benefits of blending the tomatoes for them. Like, always step ahead with solutions. Yes.
That is how you.
That is how we do it.
Yes. Have you had difficult clients?
Yes.
Don't mention my name because I haven't been one of your difficult clients.
Well, you are just. We've had very difficult clients.
What was the nature of that like?
So, example, a client calling you after 3 weeks to say her carrots are spoiled.
After 3 weeks?
Yes.
Oh. How?
How? Yes.
After 3 weeks, 3 weeks of buying.
Yes.
Maybe you should start teaching your clients how to preserve their vegetables.
Yes. So we also do that. That's one advantage.
Yeah.
So we also tell clients, okay, so you can preserve your vegetables like this, so that you don't lose them.
So what did you tell that person? After 3 weeks, I've moved on to another business client, and then you're calling me to tell me that your carrot is rotten.
So when you get messages like this, you just take a deep breath and you realize that you're dealing with different people, like different people. If you have about 200 or 300 clients and you have clients like that, just imagine when you get 1,000 or 2,000, you can have about 10 or 20 of those. So how you handle this one will tell how you handle the rest.
How is communication design affecting your business?
As a graphic designer and branding, into being in branding, it helps my business graphically. So whatever we put out there, we make sure it's communicating very well with my background in that. So we communicate. When you check our social media pages, you realize that it's colorful, it's food, it makes you hungry, this kind of things. Yes. So
right. So obviously it's also saving you some money, because then you don't have to give it to somebody to design for you.
Yes.
And a lot of quality. I've seen some of your works that you design, good stuff there.
Thank you.
Right. So when you started the business, where you decided, well, I am going to go to the market on behalf of people who can't go to the market, who was the first person you told, first of all?
I think I told my parents.
And what did they say?
My dad was like, hey, are they all mommy and now did they are bro for some account. So that was what they are the first people I told, and they've been extremely supportive since then.
What is the kind of support base you need for a young woman like yourself wanting to start something, wanting to build something? What's the nature of support that you need from people?
One, support in terms of expertise. You know, like me, a graphic designer, I don't have any background in agribusinesses, agriculture and everything.
Or managing businesses.
Yeah, but I'm moving into that. And I actually have to read. I've actually learned a lot on the job. You know, I got to know how to store vegetables on the job, how you can shop or bargain or get all this on the job, you know. So sometimes expertise, but you can't do everything. I'm not an accountant, you know, but you also have to learn a little bit of that. So when you have people or friends or families who are into that field, that can help you. When you start,
ask for help.
Yes, you should ask for help. That is first, and then yes, the money comes in. But then I always say that, like, I know we've heard it several times, like you don't need a lot of money to start and all that. You need the money, but you don't need a lot. It's true. Like I started with something very small. My first order was like 36 cedis.
I see.
I made a lot.
And how much did you spend going to the market and delivering the goods to the client?
we actually spent more than that, because it was like the first day we were like, oh, shop and we'll do free delivery.
So, oh dear. So did it make you want to give up?
Well, it didn't make me want to give up. It was, I think that's giving up or rethinking situation comes like months after that, when the client will tell you that 3 weeks my car is bought after 3 weeks, or you wake up at dawn. Like I wake up early to go to the market.
Sometimes to get the best for your clients.
And then when you wake up and then you're actually tired, like very tired. There's been times I look through the window, I'm like, who sent me? Like, who sent me?
So,
like, that's
so what keeps you going? Even though you look through the window, you're tired and you want to stop. What keeps you going?
Family, my clients who believe in me, and then are expecting me to deliver to them at 10 a.m. So they don't really care what time you wake up. And then the passion to make a difference and impact, you know. This is a new industry. When I started, I didn't have any data. I didn't have any background. It was, you needed, like, I had to research on information from the Western world and then apply it and try to make it my own. But then I know that there'll be others, there'll be young ladies who would want to go into this industry. But then if they have someone to look up to, and all these make me...
So how important is the data you talk about to your business?
It helps you know if, you know, with every business, you need to research. And data is part, you know, you need to collect data and know if you're in the right space to do the right business. When I got this idea in 2014, back in school, I was confused. Like, will people really accept this? If a research had been done on this already, I'm sure I would have, oh yeah, people would want to. But this one, you had to do your own research. You had to get your own data. But if people have, right now, if anyone wants to start this business, they can maybe check on Big Sam's, check on other competition, and know that, okay, this is how I can do it.
Right. One of your challenges too will be running your business, which you are very much involved in, and then working as a graphic designer at the TV station.
Yes.
So, which is also a very demanding job, I know that.
Yes.
How are you working out these two equally demanding jobs?
So the difficult times was when I started, but thankfully I was going to work in the afternoon. So I was able to work in the morning and then just switch. But then with time, I've been able to, I have staff that help me. And also, you know, you need to be loyal to your employer and loyal to your business.
Customers.
And to your customers as well.
Right.
That's why I wake up as early as 3 a.m. to sort out everything and make sure that by 10 a.m. I'm in the office, I'm seated like, and then
and you close in the evening.
Yes.
How?
So
it must be really difficult for you.
It's difficult, but then when you're passionate about
the end goal.
Yeah.
I heard you won the 2018 Lux Supergirl Empowerment Clinic Fund. What did you present at this fund? What was the experience? Tell us the story there.
So I presented Big Sums. That is my baby now. So that's what I presented. And then we submitted a proposal, so business proposal, and then what you would do with the business and with the fund, the money when you get it. So we did that, and then they will go through. So the organizers will go through what you do, check up on you, go through your social media pages, how active your business is, and if you really need the money.
The money.
Yes. So that's what we did.
So how much did you get?
Oh, 5,000 cedis.
You got 5,000 cedis. Where is my share?
Oh, we used it to buy freezer. It's finished.
Oh, freezer. So that's how you're expanding your business?
Yes.
How long have you been running the business?
So actively for 2 years.
For 2 years?
2 years.
Since 2017?
Yes.
And now you have your own freezer where you store some of the goods?
Yes.
Interesting. How much do you think you have invested in this business already?
It wouldn't be less than 50,000, I believe. Yes.
Wow. Where did you get all that money from?
I don't know.
Why not?
Like, maybe I would, you know, you wouldn't really, if you ask me for 50,000 now, it would be like, hey, make a fire, you get it. But then you're constantly adding up. I stopped buying things for myself so that I can invest in the business. So for 2 years, yes, back to back. But then now we are making progress, so it's worth it.
Right. Congratulations to you then, and thank you very much for gracing our seats in this episode. Fantastic stuff you're doing. I'll be expecting my groceries.
Yes.
I want all kinds of groceries.
Yes.
You know already.
Banku,
thank you very
everything.
much. Elsie Ewuzi Sams is CEO of Big Sams. She would get you all your shopping needs from our traditional markets. You're watching the Discovery edition of the PL Show, proudly brought to you by Roma Mosquito Spray and Coil in Tonto Master, Feco Spray Starch, Look Sharp. We're filming here at the Labadi Beach Hotel, and it's time for us to find out what's trending in the world. Here's Ellie Karis with #trending.
The female painter, as she's popularly known, is making waves in the world of artistry, creating artistic paradise out of spaces. Today on #trending, I joined a young artist for a conversation as she works on her latest project. My name is Ellie Karis.
As I said earlier, many people call her the female painter, mommy painter. What else do they call you?
Painter. Anything associated with painting.
So for a non-you painter, what do you have to?
I'm okay.
Thank you so much for your time,
Thank
dear.
you for having me.
She is producing something incredible on walls, canvas. What do you do?
Okay, so I am a painter. I create wall murals, I make canvas paintings, I even do pencil portraits. So that is basically what I do.
But why did you decide to pursue being an artist rather than do a job in a field you studied? That's agricultural science.
The thing is, during service, I realized I didn't want to pursue anything in agriculture at this time. I realized I found my passion for art and decided to go with that.
So meaning someday you go back to agriculture?
Actually, agricultural system.
Are we going to see any combination between that, the arts and agriculture? Or will be totally different from what you're doing now?
The thing is, right now, art is like my lifestyle. So whatever it is I decide to add to art will definitely have some elements of art in it.
So how long have you been painting, and how long did it take you to develop the skill?
Okay, so I started painting in 2015. So it's almost 4 years now. And it didn't take long. I actually started with making pencil portraits, and then I just painted a room one day, and then it was beautiful, and that is where my career started from. For my murals, it depends on the size and how complex what I'm doing is. Someone can ask me to do something really little, like maybe A4, but then how complex it is will take longer to create than someone who make me do maybe 2 by 2 feet wall with just a letter E. So the duration of creating my murals depends on the complexity and the size. So I can't really give you a time frame. So to create a mural, I talk to my clients and I have to know their favorite colors. I have to know the colors in the space that I'm going to work in, and I have to know how they want the place to feel like, whether they want it really warm or cold. We have cold and warm colors, and then how they want the energy in the place to be like. So that is it. So then after that, then I have a very good idea of exactly what they want. Then I make samples. I actually do them freehand. I do them in my sketches. Then they go through it and we make selections. And when they agree, that is when I price them, and then we continue.
Tell us about what you are doing in the spaces today. I've seen some designs. What's the inspiration behind it?
So with what I'm doing here, I'm working with their company colors, and they want some kind of energy in the place. At first, everything was white. So now I'm putting in some warm colors here and some cool colors there. But then with the line you saw, they want you to feel the energy as soon as you walk into their reception. So that is why that's the first thing you see. And when they contacted me, that is actually the first thing they asked for. So, yeah.
And they contacted you through social media?
Instagram.
Okay, through Instagram. Aside that platform, which other platform do you seek opportunities from?
I just use social media. That is me. But I get most of my works too from referrals. It really helps me a lot. I don't have a very huge following, but I tend to work every time. I'm always busy. That's because I get referrals a lot. The most touching experience is when I received an award for Africa's most influential women in business and government by CEO Global South Africa. It was a Pan-African award, and I won for the arts and culture sector. That was last year, 2018. I feel like Ghanaians don't really appreciate art a lot. So if you don't find a very good client base, if you don't find people who actually appreciate art, you will not get the benefits you can get from it. You realize that a lot of talented kids are not allowed to go into the field of art because they feel like art is for, let me use the word, losers. Yeah, so it's like when you do art, it's like you are not going to amount to anything, but that is not the case. I feel like kids should be encouraged to follow their passion. That will really help. It starts from the bottom every day. That's what I see. Because if people in the society do not respect being a visual artist, then there's no way they'll respect what you create.
We only have a few women practicing this art. What do you think accounts for the absence of interest when it comes to this particular field?
Okay, it's quite unfortunate that we are in a country and even a continent where it's divided. It's like we have roles for men and roles for women. And my fellow women are sometimes a bit scared to defy these stereotypes and do them. There are a lot of talented ladies who actually do well in painting, but they are not really out there because they are scared to come out to do it. Yes, and I'm happy that at least I have come out as a painter, and this is what I do full time. And people actually, if you go into my DMs, people actually reach out to me and ask to study arts for me.
So then, what more can women do to get ahead in this male-dominated field?
The thing is, you have to push yourself. Nobody's going to bring you out of your house and tell you that you are good at art, do it. You just have to defy the stereotypes and then just do, you just go hard and you make it.
What is the female painter's ultimate goal?
My goal is to help the talented girl child develop their artistic talents, and so that we will have a lot more female painters in Ghana and Africa.
And I wish you the best with that. Thank you so much for having us in your workspace. I'll leave you to go back and paint. I think I'll help you this time. So that you bet you right? Yes. Kudos to all artists around the world, especially to the women who are still churning out incredible works despite the challenges. This has been another insightful edition of #Trending. Special thank you going out to our sponsors, Feco Spray Starch, Look Sharp, Roma Mosquito Spray and Coil in Tuntum Master, your tailor's tailor for my outfit. My name is Ellie Harrison. Thank you so much.
Thank you to all our ladies who passed through the Discovery edition of the PL show, to Imelda of Swanky Emmys Interior Decor, Big Sams, Elsaland, Ewuzi Samson, and the female painter who brought us all those lovely paintings in the #Trending segment of the show. Our show is brought to you by Roma Mosquito Spray and Coil in Tuntum Master and supported by Feco Spray Starch, Look Sharp. Thank you also to the Labadi Beach Hotel where we are filming our episodes. Thank you also to Lifestyle Hamatan for clothing me in this episode. I'm definitely grateful to you for watching us. We'll be back with some more exciting editions next week. Do join us then. My name is Keminni Amanor. Bye-bye.